Welcome to the Gaming Outsider Podcast. The Nintendo Entertainment System turned 40 years old this month, so we decided to dedicate an episode to sharing some of our favorite memories and games of this classic console. We'll also go over news for the past week, including the fact that Halo is officially coming to PlayStation. I'm sure we'll have plenty to say in regards to what that might mean for Microsoft. As for new games we've been playing, Zach checked out Bounty Hunter as well as Dispatch. CB played Power Wash Simulator 2, and Mark tells us about Fast and Furious Arcade Edition. This is the Gaming Outsider. Greetings, programs, and welcome to the Gaming Outsider, a video game podcast with a focus on our incredible community, which can be found at thegamingoutsider.com or on facebook.com/groups/thegocast, and even our Discord server. You can find a link for it in the show notes of this very episode. It is Monday, October 27th. I'm your host, Scott Clark, and joining me are my good friends, Mr. Zach Parkerson. How are you, sir?
How do you do, man? You seem a little sniffly today.
I maybe a cold. I don't know. Does it come through in the voice? Is it?
No, I just wanted to alert in case it comes out of you during this.
I've learned to use the mute button quite a bit, even though Jake likes to fill in with Foley a little bit. But also, speaking of, Jacob Gunderson, how you doing, man?
Fair warning, my power pad is connected to the wall with duct tape. So if it falls, it's not on me.
So for those that aren't watching us do this on YouTube, he literally has his power pad. I didn't know it was duct taped to the wall. That's really funny.
Yeah. So,
fantastic.
So if that comes crashing down in the middle of the episode, everyone's going to know what that is.
All right. And then Kevin's going to love you even more, our producer. Also joining us, Mr. Chris Berensmeyer. What do you have duct taped to the wall, sir?
Stuff. All the things. I also have to apologize. My voice is a little shot from a show I went to last night. So,
oh, was it good?
Dude, it was great. I didn't get home till 1 a.m.
What? We know what it is, but why don't you tell everybody else what you went to see?
I went and saw the Unsubscribe Live podcast,
mm-hmm.
which is a bunch of YouTube people who just veterans, first responders, and EMS related content. There was a lot of drinking. It was very loud. My voice is destroyed.
It sounds like it. Good time though, huh?
Oh, dude, it was great. I can't wait to go to another one.
And speaking of things that are fun, what you been catching up on, CB?
So I have things to say about the ROG Ally.
Yours or the Xbox one?
Well, no. So
ROG Ally ex-buddy, ex-girlfriend, ex-version.
So I've had mine for a while now.
Removed.
I just have some things I'd like to report on it.
Okay.
The battery life is not that great. I've had it for a while now, and when you're playing some games, it definitely does seem to drain the battery faster. I think I was playing Power Wash Simulator 2 on it, and I got from a full charge to 18% battery in 50 minutes.
Wow.
Does it kick the fans off super loud like a Steam Deck does when the game eats your battery?
Surprisingly, doesn't get super hot. Doesn't like the fans aren't that bad. But the other thing that I'm noticing with it, and I'm curious for somebody who has a Steam Deck, I want to know about you, Scott.
Zach has one.
Do your eyes hurt after a while?
No.
So I don't know what it is about this thing, but like after a while of staring at it, like my eyes really start to hurt.
Well, to be fair, I'm not playing for 8 hours at a time on a Steam Deck.
Even after an hour.
No, I don't.
Have you tried blinking?
Or alternatively,
yes.
Glasses.
So I actually started using. I have some of those like blue blocker glasses.
Yeah.
I just pulled those out because I found mine. They were sitting up on a shelf. I haven't used them for a while, but it definitely my eyes right now like hurt still from playing earlier today.
Wow.
And I've never had this staring at like a TV, like even a phone. Like there's just something about the brightness maybe on this that just like strains my eyes.
That's interesting. No, I've never dealt with that. So
okay, I just wanted to do that. Other than that, still love it, man.
Nice.
The connectivity is great.
Awesome. Jake, what about you?
Huh? Oh, so I went back and started playing.
Reminder, buddy, you're on a podcast.
Right. I don't know.
So you know.
I was thinking about what CB was talking about, and then you were just like, "Oh yeah, you." Okay. Anyway, so there was some updates to Trading Card Simulator, and so I went back and started playing that. Thank God they put in like this little ATM machine that opens packs for you. That was the one thing I hated about that game. I got to a certain spot, and I was just like, after hours of opening cards, I was just sick of it. So now you can just dump a bunch of packs into this ATM, and it spits out cards at the end of the day.
Do these exist in real life, or is this a brilliant idea?
This is a brilliant idea in the game.
All right.
I don't collect cards in real life, unfortunately. CB, you might want to get one. But anyway, other than that, I wasn't on the show last week. Everyone might have noticed. But I started playing a game called Vintage Story. It's remember when Minecraft first came out and it was only accessible through their website? That's how this is. You have to go to their website, you buy it, you download it, blah, blah, whatever. This game looks a lot like Minecraft and plays nothing like it. It hurts my feelings because I jumped in going, oh, Minecraft. The first thing I need to do is find a tree, punch the tree, get the tree down, make a crafting table, make a pickaxe, get stone, blah, blah. No. This game tells you how hard it's going to be in the very beginning by just hating you. So the very first couple of steps in this game is you find flint laying on the ground and you have to nap it. So you have to form the flint into a tool. Then you connect it to a stick. That's your first axe because you can't take down trees before you have it. It took us like an hour to figure out how to do that because I was trying not to look up guides. We're just going to go in blind and see what happens. Well, that did not go well.
I don't understand though, because as a guy that doesn't play Minecraft, what is it, like a combination? Is it sticking things in a correct slot in your inventory?
The very first, I guess, not the very first interpretation of Minecraft, but before they had a crafting table that you could just plug things into and spit out items, you had to kind of guess where things would be on the crafting table to make things. You just kind of trial and error, put them on there. This game has pop-ups and stuff that tell you how to be there, but there's a whole wiki page in the game. You press a couple of buttons and you can find anything in the game that you need help with because the game is so complicated. It's a little maddening. It's extremely maddening.
Is that cheating? Like you said, you didn't want to cheat, but using the in-game Wikipedia?
I didn't want to look anything up, but come to find out how intensive this game actually is, I had to end up looking things up because I didn't know what to do next. I'm finally in what is they call the copper age. I've gotten some copper. I've made tools. I'm able to use copper in my everyday life now. But to even make a copper tool, you find copper. You break the copper down with a hammer. You put the copper into a crucible. You heat the crucible up. You take the copper. You have to have a pair of tongs to pick up the crucible because it'll burn your hands and you'll drop it. In which then you'll lose all the metal because now it's on the ground. You take the crucible and you dump out the metal either into ceramic molds that you have made or into ceramic molds that have made to make ingots. Then you take the ingots and put it into a forge to heat the ingots back up, put them on an anvil, and then you hammer them into the positions that you need to make the weapon. Now the weapon comes out at like 800 degrees and you have to go over and find a lake or something and then throw the tool in to quench it. It is.
How are you able to throw it into the lake if it was hot to begin with?
You're holding it into tongs and then you drop it. And
couldn't you just make a bucket and put water in it and quench it in the bucket?
Very first, you can't make a bucket because the bucket requires planks, and to make planks, you need a saw, which you have to make that whole system before you can make the saw. Then you can make the bucket. It is maddening.
Sounds very intensive. I'm intrigued.
It's Minecraft Dark Souls.
Oh, dude, it is so hard. And then the mining in Vintage Story is outrageous because there are veins rather than just finding a random group of metal every so often. There's a thing called a prospector axe, and it allows you to know what's under the ground without actually knowing what's there. And so you take it's
a metal detector.
Basically, but you take a couple of picks from the area around it and it says, hey, there's a good chance that this is here. Hey, there's a good chance that this is here, blah, blah, whatever. And then as you dig down, you have to like change the style of the prospecting mode, and then it goes, okay, you're in the relative position of where this vein is. It doesn't actually tell you where it is, so you're just kind of digging around in the dark in rocks hoping to find it, and eventually you find it. But then when you do find it, like I think I found 600 copper in the vein that I found, but it took me 4 or 5 hours to find it. So there's a lot of it takes a lot of work to get this game going, but it is really rewarding when all of your things start coming to fruition. Like farming in this game. Yeah, you go find, some wheat, you break it down, you get wheat, and then we get wheat seeds. You take those seeds over, you plant them in the ground, and then it takes I think the days are about 30 minutes long. And then it actually says, what month, what day, what year, all that kind of stuff, what time it is. And it probably takes 3 in-game months to have crops grow. And then once they are actually grown, I think from the first wheat thing that we planted, we got 45 like actual wheat from.
How long have you been playing this game?
2 weeks.
Oh, I misinterpreted what you said. In-game months.
Yes.
Okay.
No, in-game months, which is only about I think like, I don't know, 2 days actually, maybe. Gotcha. Like an actual days or whatever, but it still took forever for these crops to grow. But when they finally did grow, I got a lot of stuff out of them. But yeah, just super intensive game. Thought I'd throw it out there. My kid actually told me about it, and I was like, I have to try this. And so,
and just like you said, this looks like Minecraft. Like, I mean, more detailed Minecraft.
Yeah,
they still have that like boxy body shape to them, but I feel like there's a little bit more detail.
Yep.
And like the world looks way more interesting to explore. Like you said, it just feels like it's going to be super satisfying because it actually takes some effort to make some of this stuff happen.
Yeah, and the progress you make isn't that, oh, these tools do it better. It's that these tools make you work less. And so you're not spending your time making different tools. You're not spending your time doing this. You can spend your time doing other more important things that allow you to actually progress even further.
It almost sounds like an evolved civilization game.
It kind of is. The game says that you start in the Stone Age, and then I told my wife the other day that I was starving to death because we have a server which they allow you to have, and I was just playing around in it, making some metal stuff, or whatever. And I started starving to death, and I ate all the food that we had saved up. And I was like, "Well, you need to get on to cook me food." And she was like, she was like, "Well, why do I have to cook? You're playing the same game." And I'm like, "Look, you know the cooking side of it. I know how to bang rocks together to make them useful. Like." That's all I'm good for.
Just like in real life.
I was say very traditional roles there.
I make all of her tools. You leave me alone.
That sounds like a you game through and through.
She is the hunter gatherer of the game. Of like every game that we make, if there needs to be any kind of supplies or hunting or gathering or anything done, she's the one that likes to do it. She ends up getting really good with a bow, and she just goes out and just does her thing and brings back a bunch of stuff. And I go, okay, cool. Let me make you better things.
Is this a free to play game, or do you got to buy it on their site?
It's about $20 on their site.
Wow. Just looking at that, I know it looks like rudimentary graphics and stuff, but just how in depth that game is, that seems like a steal.
And it hates you. The game hates you.
Like you die, God. Or is it just?
Oh,
just like
no. I mean, no, you die and you respawn and you keep going, but you will die a lot.
Yeah,
I appreciate a game that hates you.
That Stone Age era is not fun to try to get through.
Interesting. That is Vintage Story, definitely a Jacob game for sure. Zach, what about you, sir?
With the recent Remedy hullabaloo, I decided to jump into FBC Firebreak as kind of a little support for Remedy, and I decided to restart my profile so that I could see the new player onboarding, and it is significantly better. It explains itself so much more, and the way unlocks work now is much smarter because it actually feels like it's a linear progression where you're like unlocking new weapons in a way that makes sense rather than the original game, like where you like had a rusty shotgun first and then you had to like upgrade it to a decent one. I don't know if you remember any of that. And then like the way the perk system unfolds is better, and all that to say, like, and the matchmaking is way better and much less confusing because now you can just jump into like a random match and that way you don't have to like try to find the exact server with the right difficulty on the right mission you need with the the level of corruption. It was kind of a complicated way to set up a match in the original version, so they fixed that too. And all that to say, like, it's really disappointing we live in a world where developers aren't as concerned about their first impression anymore.
Yeah.
Because I think if you had done more playtesting of the original version of FBC Firebreak, you probably would have seen like people giving you the feedback of like, it doesn't have the juice. It doesn't give you enough carrots. And then
It's not corn.
Sure. I don't
It's
get
got
it.
the juice.
All right. And so it's just like, yeah, this could have gone so much better for Remedy, I think. I still don't think it would have ever like blown up in a way that could have, supported the studio the way they kind of wanted this game to like, have a safety net for their developments. Just because like it isn't predatory, which isn't going to give you a lot of money.
Right.
It's very much like play at your pace and unlock stuff as you want, which weirdly makes people not want to spend money anymore.
It's so weird. Like we're conditioned.
It's so backwards and disappointing. But it's just like, yeah, if we still lived in a world where the first version of your game was the one you largely have to stick with, or we lived in a world where when a game had a comeback, it wasn't like celebrated loudly and instead was like, well, about time.
Yeah.
I just think maybe they would have gone about this a little bit differently. Because it got launched into early access and now it's hit 1.0.
I was going to say, who needs to playtest their games when they have early access?
Right. Well, it turns out if you want anybody to keep playing your game, because I keep getting the same names. It feels like there's 5 people playing this game.
Oh, you mean the same players?
Yes. Yeah. Like I will back out. I'll play a whole different day and get the same guy I played with last night.
Wow.
It's not a large pool of players. It does not feel like.
Remedy just really wants you two to be friends.
It may be. Yeah. Me and Uncle Iroh. Shout out.
That's his name.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't know. He must have got in early to secure a character name like that.
Is that Avatar?
It is, yeah. So yeah, shout out to that guy, dude. He's like level 74. That guy plays FBC Firebreak.
All right.
He loves it. Hell, he might work at Remedy. I don't know. And then alternatively, because we're still in the October season, I decided to play The Walking Dead. Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1, because I haven't played it in many years. And this game holds up. What a story, huh?
I mean, I barely remember it. I remember episode 2 or 3 gets really crazy with some people talking about eating people.
Yes.
I remember that being a big deal back then.
Yeah, this game is not afraid to get dark.
Yeah.
Put you in some gnarly situations. I love it. Yeah, I loved it back in the day. Played it a few times to see the different outcomes, but it's been a real joy to replay it again.
I mean,
Nice.
Telltale.
Yeah, dude, Telltale, outside of that Game of Thrones game, I feel like they made pretty good stuff.
Doesn't that one open with you like in the back of a cop car?
Yes,
When
you're on
things
your way to prison.
Yeah. I remember that. And that was the first time I remember. It might be the first time I remember dialogue choices being timed. I was like, oh, I got to hurry. I don't have, I don't have a whole lot of time to think. And that was like brilliant at the time. So.
And they give you those tighter windows when it's a, hectic moment as well,
Yeah.
which is clever because then you just hit a button.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it.
Very cool. I got a game to recommend as well. It was recommended to me by Aaron from our community. He said to check out this mobile game called Bricks Breaker RPG. Apparently, it's made by just one guy, and it's simple, but it's also it's deceptively simple. It is those Brick Breaker games that we always get ads for on social media, where you shoot a ball from the bottom and you're trying to break all the bricks in the top, and like a string of like 10 or 15 balls, and they all bounce around, and you're trying to. It's like the satisfying thing to watch all the balls clear. It is that game, but it is done with RPG mechanics, which works way better than it sounds. So the game is, like I said, very simple. You have to clear all the bricks. You're trying to uncover treasures. You're trying to there's magic spells that you eventually unlock to add more balls to your shots, or you get stats. Like, oh, I now have a 5% chance to critical hit whenever I hit these bricks, which they call them enemies in the game. You level up, you get to add these different, items like armor and things to your character that make the bricks disappear quicker. So each brick or enemy has a number associated with it. So naturally, if you remember those kinds of games, if there's 10, you have to hit it 10 times before it disappears. Well, now I get a +1, so now they do twice as much damage, or I have a 50% chance for it to do this lightning attack that tears through. You know what I mean? There's just all sorts of interesting stuff going on. So you're constantly moving forward, and it's just a kind of a delightful little game. It's free to play. There are microtransactions, but they do not feel egregious. The game does something that I feel like I've never been offered before, but I don't play a ton of mobile games, where it says, hey, we'll let you earn the currency twice as much if you let us put a banner in front of you while you play the game. You don't have to click on the banner. Just the banner's there, and, you'll earn the currency twice as fast. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to at all. Currency, adds up pretty slowly, but I've never had the urge to need to. So, I don't know. It's a fun, satisfying little game. It's one of those set it and forget it kind of games. Like remember how Peggle was fun, where like you light up the shop and then you just like hands off and watch what happens.
Yeah,
it's like that, but in reverse. You're shooting up, and trying to find right angles and trying to clear the map before, because each time you do a shot, the whole screen like shifts down one layer, Tetris style, and if it goes down below a certain level before you have everything cleared, then you lose. So it's pretty fun.
Perhaps a silly question, but does it have a story like Puzzle Quest?
It does, but it's not nearly as in depth, or at least so far. It's the story has been me meeting a character and him challenging me, and that's it. Like, okay. I haven't like been sent on any quests or anything like that. But Bricks Breaker RPG, I am having a shocking good time with it for a free to play mobile game, which I don't play mobile games too much. Jake, did you just download it?
I just downloaded it.
Yeah. It's a fun little game. It's clearly made in the UK because all the currency is in pounds. Or not clearly. It's somewhere, is it Great British pounds? There's just Great Britain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm
obviously
sure there would be a.
I'm not well versed in every nation's currency name, to be honest.
But I mean, it says it right in the name, so I would assume.
Well,
but anyway,
there you go. What more do you need to know?
So that's the games we've been catching up on. Let's go ahead now and jump into the week's news. Few new things to talk about in the world of gaming. Blackwood is a John Wick-esque action thriller coming to PC via Steam 2026. Casting Whispers is a psychological horror game on Steam. Close your eyes and use your hearing to survive. A game called Beneath is available on Steam and consoles. It's an underwater Lovecraftian monster first-person shooter. Mark wrote an article about it on our site. I highly recommend you check that out. And also Project TAL, or Project TAL. It's a Korean-made RPG coming in 2027. If any of those sound interesting to you, check out thegamingoutsiders.com. You can find the articles that Mark and the rest of the writing team has put together. Also, Remedy CEO Tiro Virtala is stepping down. The weekly Xbox news breakdown, there's quite a bit of things to talk about. AI is coming quick, and the final line has been crossed. Halo is coming to PlayStation. Lots of things to talk about. Jacob, where would you like to start?
Halo is coming to PlayStation.
I kind of figured that would be on the tip of everybody's tongue. There's a lot to talk about here. I mean, it's more than just Halo coming to PlayStation, right? This whole announcement was kind of a big deal, that the original Halo was being remastered in Unreal 5. All the side-by-side comparisons are a pretty stark contrast. But, the big one is that you're going to be able to play this on PlayStation as well. Now, you being a PlayStation guy, have you ever played Halo?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is not going to be like a first time for you. Okay.
No. So the remake is coming in 2026. It's called Halo Campaign Evolved.
I don't like that.
No, there was a whole conversation in my family about.
But I think They have to find a way to let you know there's not multiplayer, right? Or to get themselves out of it, because when you think Halo, you think multiplayer.
Right.
Yeah, and there's no multiplayer in this, but there is two-player split screen.
I heard
that's
there was
gonna be-
4-player. Did I miss
There's 4-player online co-op.
Oh, there's not a multiplayer. Okay, well,
No, it's
that's
two-player
that-
split screen, 4-player co-op, no adversarial multiplayer.
okay. That's okay. So no PvP yet.
Right. So the
It's just
reason Halo got popular is not included in this package.
Correct.
Got it.
I heard it was the story that brought people together.
Yeah.
Only when it's red versus blue.
Only when it's
was great.
I'm gonna have to go watch that series. I love that thing. Anyway,
How long was that series? I never watched it.
I think it was like over 20 seasons.
yeah, it was. It survived a lot longer than what it probably should have.
Now they did do like 2 or 3 seasons a year, to be clear, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, that thing lasted a long time.
I made them a lot of money.
But I mean, how egregious is this? Like, honestly, like as all of the events are happening in the world, different studios are being bought out, and things seem to be falling apart. Microsoft is moving away from consoles. How egregious is this actual move? It seems smart to me. Like, this is the final step of them becoming a service rather than a console.
They're becoming Sega. Like,
Yes,
right.
Yeah, they're becoming the service. Everything is now an Xbox. Even your PlayStation is an Xbox now.
Yeah.
Although when Sonic Adventure 2 got ported from Dreamcast to GameCube, they added multiplayer.
So reverse Sega.
So big difference.
Evil Sega.
I think the remake, personally, I think it looks good. It is weird to see sprinting in Halo 1.
Oh, you can turn it off. Don't worry.
Well, you can also just not click the stick.
I know, but it just cracks me up that you can actually toggle off the ability to sprint.
Well, because it feels weird, especially if you played those first 3 Halos a lot. And I think that it looks good. It has 3 new prequel missions where Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson are teaming up, and everybody loves Sergeant Johnson. That's pretty neat. Getting the original voice actors back, I think, is obviously necessary. Although it's funny that Cortana feels like she hasn't aged a day, whereas Master Chief seems like he's aged 20 years.
Just about 20 years.
Yeah, just about 20 years. Yeah, so I think all that's cool, and I think PlayStation gamers getting a chance at the Halo campaign, perhaps for the first time, is awesome. But the idea that this package is probably going to retail for $10 less than Halo originally did, and not have multiplayer, is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's been no information about about the price on this, but we're all kind of assuming that this is going to be a $50 title, right?
I assumed 40 because Gears of War Reloaded was 40. Although
And
it
Gears had
wasn't-
multiplayer.
It had
No.
multiplayer.
Wasn't the Master Chief Collection $39.99?
Well, you can't. We can't get into this can of worms.
No. What I'm saying is though, like, but with the increase in price, like, I feel that budget titles are now going to be $49.99.
Yeah,
So
I mean that
they'll
would
be
be
like right there at the 50.
So Mafia was, right?
yeah, and I hear you guys. I'm just going off of the Gears of War remake.
Mm-hmm.
If it is 50, then that's even funnier that you're getting so much less content for the same price as Halo in 2001.
Right.
Or
Talk
or
about
are they gonna go
shrinkflation. You know,
Or they're going to go namesake, and they're going to go, well, this is Halo. This is the original Halo remake.
Right. It's $70,
So it's $70.
and you're
It's
gonna
a
like
big
it.
boy title, and it's going to have extra stuff for $80, and get
On
it 3 days early
PlayStation.
for $90.
And they'll be like, you
PlayStation.
know what?
It'll be $80.
I can
Look at the
see
Master
it now.
Chief figurine for 120.
I can see it now. They're gonna do the Diablo thing. What, don't you all have phones? But instead it's gonna be like, what, don't you all have Game Pass? Which is now, 50% more than it was before.
Your PlayStation is an Xbox.
Is Game Pass gonna be on
Jeez.
Xbox?
Aaron Plays asks, is it just the first game or is it a collection? No, it is just the first game and its story mode.
Just the first game.
Yeah,
Collecting skulls all over again.
Oh, there's supposed to be a whole bunch of new skulls though.
yeah, I think is it some kind of commentary maybe too, or am I making that up? It does.
hear
It does
about the
have
commentary.
weapons from later in the series, I guess. So there's that.
It has a counter on the needler now. You can see how many needles
That
are
is-
left.
I have seen so many memes about that being the stupidest thing ever.
I don't
Well, I
know
mean,
why.
it's-
God, I just can't count it down myself.
Right, the needles are on the gun.
Right.
Right.
It's pretty weird.
I don't know. I saw one that was comparing it to having an analog clock and then having a digital clock right underneath it.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah, so
Ah.
I think I mean, obviously, industry wide, like this is it. Xbox is no longer a hardware company, right? That it's not a concern. So it is.
Yeah,
They don't really
Is it-
have a culture ecosystem anymore. They're no longer trying to compete with PlayStation. They haven't for a while, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Not hard.
yeah, it's done now.
Here's the thing, though. Do you have this mentioned in the story above? I mean, I feel like I'm still in the thunder for the other story a little bit, but
No, go ahead. I mean, Xbox gives us 5 to 6 news stories a week right now.
yeah. So Sarah Bond thinks that exclusives are old news. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna kind of tie this in with the other story here.
Sure.
She says, quote, the biggest games in the world are available everywhere. You look at Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox. That's really what's driving community and gaming. That's where people gather and have experience. So the idea of locking it to one store or one device is antiquated for most people. You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, regardless of what device they're on, unquote. The next and I kind of
Unquote.
see what she's saying there. I mean, like open it up to more people. That just opens it up for more people to buy it in their mind. I get that. She says the next generation Xbox will be a, quote, a very premium, very high-end curated experience, unquote, citing the ROG Xbox Ally as an example of the direction they're going. Bloomberg reported via Jason Schreier that Microsoft now demands Xbox hit a 30% profit margin, despite the industry average being 17 to 22%. I heard today that EA's is 15%. EA.
Right. You got to do double in EA.
You got to do twice as well as EA.
Yeah,
That
do
just
twice as
kinda-
well as Madden.
Well, I mean, also keep in mind that with the plethora of studios that they own,
Mhm.
like 30%, like I think 30% is outrageous.
Yeah.
Like I think they should be, if they hit 20%, I'd be like, you did good.
You did real good. So the reason I bring up this story is to talk about like the next generation of console, because Zach alluded to, they're out of the console space. But then you hear this comment and it's like, oh, we're looking for a high-end thing. So what does that mean? Does that mean everything is an Xbox, but if you want the Cadillac experience, you're going to come to Xbox? So this is going to be, for people that can afford a $1,500 console. Why don't you just get a PC box?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it's going to feel like.
What that statement literally says is, we're not going to build it. We're going to have other people build it, and you can pay to play.
Which doesn't make any sense. I mean, they did it with the ROG, I guess, because they don't do handhelds. But you all make PCs. You all make consoles. There's no reason to offload that to a third party.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they'll probably still make their own Xbox.
That's just a whole nother division that they can be like, shut it down.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Aaron Plays says, how can you even facilitate the numbers like that when most of their titles go directly to Game Pass anyways? They're gonna get rid of some people. They've already started raising prices for the Game Pass. So there's some of your margins right there.
Well, I'm curious
Like-
how you're going to do it when you keep making games people don't want to play in big numbers.
They stick somewhere. Someone has got to be buying these things.
No,
They're
I mean,
gonna
obviously they have
popular-
Call of Duty, right? But like, how many people are buying Keeper?
Because they're just trying to stem the tide for when Elder Scrolls and the new Fallout eventually comes out, and they can be like, look, we made back all the dollars.
I forgot Elder Scrolls 6 was a thing. It's
Yeah.
been so long.
Was it like 4 years ago that they unveiled that?
It was like 5.
Was it 5?
Yeah, it was and it wasn't even like, oh look, here's the game. It was
It
just
was a title card.
there's
Title card and this pretty skyline.
right. That was it.
Yeah,
I have pain in my life again.
Well, I mean, like the next Fallout one, it was literally like neon sign, flash blank. Congrats, we might make it sometime.
Well, that was the thing. That was because they had that Fallout Day, right, where they announced no new games, except for like anniversary editions of existing stuff and a bunch of merchandise.
And content for Fallout 76.
You know, the more we keep saying stuff, the more I'm agreeing with you that this sounds a lot more like Sega.
Yeah.
Because wasn't Sega like getting like pachinko machines? Or no, that's not Sega. That's
Konami.
That's Konami.
Konami. Yeah.
But I mean, Sega did pull out of making home consoles, but continued making arcade consoles.
Which, you know, there's
Like
not a
arcade
market for
units.
that. Like, I feel like
And
that's
not in the US. It was wildly popular in Japan.
Mhm.
And they were still a publisher in the US though for a little while, wasn't they? Weren't they?
I mean, they still.
I mean, they
are.
still are, but I mean, I think Sega did Armored Core 4.
If I can
Weird.
quickly circle back to what Sarah Bond was saying about exclusives.
Yeah.
If I was the loser, I too would say that. If both my competitors were built on strong exclusives and taking me out to lunch every day, every time, yeah, I would also be like, yeah, who cares about exclusives, right?
Right.
I'm just wildly surprised at under the direction of Phil Spencer at the beginning of this console generation, where it's like it seemed like Microsoft and Xbox, like everything was hitting the right notes, moving in the right direction. And now this Sarah Bond is just like, it just seems so completely out of touch with everything.
They've made like a 90-degree turn.
I don't think they made a 90-degree turn. I think they just started slamming their face into a wall and like, yes, this will work. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, all of what she's saying here sounds like a company that does not know what it's doing.
Yeah. It just goes it goes to show like how much good leadership is like an important thing. And then they're like, you're now leading the ship. I don't know what I'm doing.
I got one last thing to say about all this. It kind of cracks me up. We had an episode a couple weeks ago where we talked about the increase in price, and boy, did I get a lot of flack for like hating on Xbox. I've been an Xbox fanboy for a long time, and y'all gave me all kinds of crap for being an Xbox fanboy. You never talk about PlayStation and blah blah blah, and now I'm kind of swinging the other way, and now you're mad at me again. Like it just drives me nuts. Like no matter what you do, someone's going to yell at you for your opinion.
Well, of course, that's just the world we live in. Damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Xbox sucks.
So what does this? I mean, I know we've kind of speculated, but is that really what's going to happen? Is there going to even be a console, or is there just going to be an elite console that's going to be $1,500? And
Yeah, there will be. The
I think you
elite
are.
console.
I think you are wildly underestimating that price.
You think so?
I think they're going to be like, this is going to be a high-end PC. I'm going to say they're probably going to be like $2,500 to $3,000.
And I'm out. I am. You know, if they still make Xbox Series X when mine dies, you know, I'll pick up one of those for the $800, whatever they are at that point, and keep going. I've got so much to catch up on that I have not played. I can't even fathom the need for another generation of consoles right now.
Hey,
really
Xbox
can't.
Play Anywhere, right? Your Xbox Series X will always be an Xbox if they're to be believed.
Right.
That's the curated part of it. They're like, everything's an Xbox. Your PlayStation is now an Xbox.
I don't really understand who would buy it, right? Because they already can't move the consoles they have,
Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna move them at $2,000 though.
It's going to be the dedicated hardcore fans that refuse to be wrong about
Yeah.
anything, and then the minority elites that are going to have it to show off that I've got this fancy thing that you don't, and that's it. And then they're going to sell a whole bunch of Series X's and Series S's. Probably they'll sell, you know, whatever they got
They're
left.
try.
Well, I mean, going all the way back to the Xbox 360, it just seems like anytime there's hardware, Microsoft just can't find like the path forward, which is why like every single generation they've wildly changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, like I give PlayStation credit, like sticking to their guns. PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Done. Xbox. I like every single time there's a new generation. Like we always, for months, we joke about what's the name going to be this time.
Mm-hmm.
Because Xbox to the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One to the Xbox One X
To the ROG Xbox Ally X.
You forgot the
rolls
series.
off.
The series.
Oh my god. I'm done though, guys. I'm out. I know I'm a big talker and I say that now. I don't think I'm going to jump into the next generation. I just don't. I don't have time to play the freaking games I have now.
My PlayStation 5, like I've bought Ghost of Yota. I haven't even turned on my PlayStation 5 in months.
Oh, I have.
Aaron Play says only oddball name for Sony was the Vita, which is obviously the best handheld ever made. I just wanted to share that since it was obviously true. I'm just
I
gonna
love the Vita, man.
Dude, Vita's awesome.
It's I agree with Zach. The Vita is a great handheld.
I seriously think that I would jump into the PC world before I jumped into buying a $2,500 console to put under my TV.
You're probably gonna
Like, I
spend
just-
the same amount on a PC though, right? At that point.
I pump a little bit more to have an even higher end, to have an actual high end PC.
Okay, I hear you.
I just need a way to. Aaron is going nuts in the comments, just telling me to join the collective, as it were. But I just the big holdback for me with the PC is the comfortability and I don't like to sit and play games at a computer screen. I don't. I sit at a desk all day long. I like to sit on my comfortable couch, and I know, you can make it happen. You can hook it up to your TV. It's fine, but if it's a lot of mouse and keyboard, I need an apparatus to wrap around with my mouse and keyboard, and I don't know.
You're
don't
overthinking it
need-
way too much.
You do not need a mouse and keyboard to play on PC.
Well, if I want to be good, I got to learn how to play the mouse and keyboard, right?
You're good.
You can still play with a controller though.
And
You can. It is the PlayStation controller has a very easy way to connect it to Bluetooth to other devices,
Mm-hmm.
and so
also not for nothing, but they still make most games still come out on PS4 and Xbox One.
Right.
Like you're going to be good well into the PS6 era.
Yep.
So I'm saying this is not a near concern for you.
No, I know. I
You could get
I
one of
just said
those-
that I've got so much backlog that would last me until retirement. At this point, they could stop making games right now, and I would have plenty to play until I retire.
You know, Scott, you could get those like split keyboard controllers
Okay.
where it's like
Oh
half
my-
keyboard on one,
no.
half on the other with the thumb ball movement.
No, I won't be doing that.
You can just sit there like, just yes.
Let's
I
move
am
on.
blessed.
Let's talk about
Yes.
something else other than Xbox. CB, how about you? What do you want to talk about?
We're gonna talk about AI for a second
All right.
because
I figured this
Um,
was going to be the one that you wanted.
yeah, just because again, like we'll get into it here in a second. But AI is rapidly approaching folks. EA has now entered into a strategic partnership with Stability AI. They haven't released a lot of the details yet. But what scares me even more about like this news article is Krafton, where they have announced that they are an AI first company, going so far as to rewrite like their HR, like their entire employee handbook. Like, we are AI first. Like, AI is the most important thing in this company now. That's kind of terrifying. Just because I have not dabbled in the AI very much. So I figured I would try something. And I went on Grok and I typed in, write me code for a Mega Man style game. And in under 15 seconds, it literally wrote the code for a functional game and then told me how to expand on making the game better. Like, and I already plugged it in, it functions. But it's scary the rapid progression of what AI is able to accomplish.
Did you all see Terminator? I just
No,
like,
no, I'm very well aware, but like
I mean, It seems like everything is just expanding and expanding at an exponential rate every single day.
This is just the Jurassic Park argument. Like
All
there's
because we could do it
7
doesn't mean we should have.
there's 7 movies that tell you that this is a bad idea. We should not resurrect dinosaurs. And yet the moment you guys get the chance to resurrect dinosaurs, you are.
Right. That's a movie. This is real life. We have all of the fake movies that aren't real that have warned us about this for years, and we're just still pushing and pushing forward. And everybody I talk to is against AI. Nobody thinks that it's a good idea, but somehow it just keeps happening. And now we're going to get to the point where we're not even going to have any creativity in games anymore. Having a game created by a person or a group of people exclusively is going to be a rare thing. It's almost going to have be like where there's going to have that label on a game that says this was created by humans with zero AI, and that's how we're going to be able to know what kind of experience we're getting.
Well,
Right. They're because AI can't create; it can only imitate. And
yes.
what's up with the lawmakers of the world not doing anything about all the copyright material these things have to steal?
Because
use.
that's where like the parity clause comes in, where it's like all you have to do is change 30% and you side skirt that completely.
Yeah, I guess also ultimately, like as long as the billionaire companies are writing them a check, they don't actually care.
Yep.
Like, but it's kind of terrifying in like I've read through like some of these like press releases where they talk about this, where they're like, oh, the artists are still in control, the artists have to, because like you still have to put a command prompt. Like if you just put like create a game based on this, it'll write you a very simple code and it doesn't expand. Like you put it in, you try to play it, it's very simplistic. You have to then input additional like inputs to get it to start doing things. But what scares me about it is the fact that it's like, okay, you're going to have a lot of, unfortunately, like these companies, like the higher ups are kind of out of touch with things. I was actually talking to somebody at the show last night about some of this, and the average age of like a CEO or like lawmakers is in their 70s. And majority of them don't even understand how the internet functions. So having them write policies, procedures, and laws on some of these things when they don't know how these work.
I mean, that's been everything with government for forever, right?
It has, but this is that tipping point where things are accelerating so fast that if something isn't done, like you're going to have CEOs like, oh, well, I could literally cut my entire development team down to like 1 or 2 people and just use AI.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, well, then I'm just going to have AI beta test it now. And we're going to wind up with these, like, I know you and I have talked about it, Scott, that I've had a feeling for a long time that another video game crash is coming. And I think this is that point.
You think AI is going to cause the next video game crash?
I legitimately think it's going to. It's going because here's the thing: it's going to get to the point that like everything is just going to keep recycling, and it's just going to start turning out literally the same game over and over, but just in a different color. And the problem is you'll have so many people that have moved away from this industry because the CEOs and policymakers were like, this is what we want. This is like more AI. And people are just going to leave the field. And it's going to take something incredibly drastic to reverse it. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think AI is the tipping point for the next video game crash.
And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs because of it, either because they're being replaced by AI or the crash inevitably happens. And then even more people are going to lose jobs. And that's not a good thing, clearly.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. That's why I said I'm terrified by it.
I think it's going to end up becoming like Clair Obscur, where you're going to have all of these people from all over the place that feel the pressure of not being able to have their creative freedoms go. And they're just going to be like, well, hey, let's just go do it ourselves. And then they'll join forces and they'll start making their own games. They'll start doing their own things.
But to Zach's point, like where is the legislation? Like, why is it okay for someone to sell a product that is based on that is 100% iterative?
Wasn't the whole point of like the voice actor strike and like the writer strike a couple years ago to start curbing this?
Well, they were trying to get ahead of it before it got bad, and
but now it feels like it's 10 times worse.
exactly, it feels way worse than it was a while ago. And what are you gonna like? I mean, the whole like seal of quality thing I was talking about. I feel like that's a good start. You should have to like have like they did it with cigarettes, right? Where we had to have the Surgeon General warning on the side of it to show that these things may cause cancer. I think there should be a warning label on a game that says this game is using AI in some way.
This
Yeah,
game causes
Steam-
severe brain rot.
Steam has that. You have to disclose if you use AI.
But how prominent in your face is it? Is it just
I
like
don't
a little subtext that's at the
It's-
bottom, or
It
Let's
is.
look.
It is. It's not subtext. It is the same. It's italicized, but it is at the bottom of the game description,
Mhm.
like where it's like right around where it tells you what the mature content details are.
yeah? Oh, so that thing that nobody reads.
I mean, I always read. I'm not going to buy a game without knowing the details of what I'm buying.
Yeah.
But I understand most people don't read.
But
But-
here's the thing: even if you do that, and then it's going to be easy for me to sit here and say, "Well, I'll just never buy a game that has that logo on it," or "I'm going to only buy a game that has this in it." That's great. Gamers are fickle, and we'll back off on that as soon as FOMO kicks in.
So
Sure.
here's one of the things that you constantly say though. Like you're like, at this point in time, I could be like completely happy never buying another game because the backlog is so massive.
Mm-hmm.
So if AI just starts turning out slop, like literal slop, people would be like, "Hey, we want to. We're just not gonna buy things. We're gonna go back to the old things."
I don't think people have the perseverance to do that. I
Well,
think
no.
FOMO is such a factor nowadays with people, and I'll admit I'm part of that. If something new comes out that's awesome, everybody's talking about, I want to experience it because there's a fear that I'm going to miss out on something cool.
But this is where it kind of gets scary with some of this. Like it feels like the cards are aligning where we're going to be forced to just keep buying the crap because they keep shutting down the stores for the different older consoles.
Mhm.
It's getting harder and harder to find consoles. There's less and less people repairing old consoles for like almost a generation now. A lot of the games, starting all the way back to like the Xbox One, some of those discs don't even actually have the game on them or the full game.
It's just DRM.
So
most games do though.
that they are, but some of them, like if you had a completely wiped console and you put the disc in, the game is functionally broken, which is why we have to have these massive patches.
No, I mean there's a whole organization that investigates this, and like over 90% of current game discs are fully playable off of the base install. That's just that's statistical reality.
Unless
Not on
it's
Xbox,
Switch,
I'll grant you, because
Or-
they don't care.
Switch 2.
Yeah, or game key cards, but those are obviously they let you know about that.
Yeah. So, but it's scary that like we may be forced into that. Like either you're gonna keep buying the crap, or you're just gonna have to play stuff that's so old and outdated that it's gonna be harder and harder to get.
There's another path.
Get out of
PC
gaming.
Yar.
piracy.
I don't want to steal AI games. I got no interest in them at all.
I mean, if there's nobody actually behind the wheel making the games, should I have to pay for the game?
I would agree.
Well,
No,
not only
you should
that,
not. If they made a game off of stealing a bunch of stuff, I think you are fully, legally, immorally, I think obligated to not pay them for that. You should steal from the stealers.
So if you make an AI game, you're fully on board with just like, you know what, if it's an AI game,
Steal it.
pirate it.
Yeah, absolutely steal it. They stole from people to make it.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I mean, I still am not interested in playing it, but
With the user end agreements the way that they are, that owning isn't or buying isn't owning, and they start shutting down the stores like that, and you can't have access to these games anymore. Like, what do you do? Like, if
Yeah,
you
well,
don't have physical copies of this,
What is the classic? If buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a victimless crime.
You wouldn't
You
steal
would
a
steal a car.
You would steal a car.
Funny
Oh,
you say
I-
that. All right, we got to do one more story, Zach.
Played
Yeah.
GTA.
I do want to say, Crafton, you're on my shit list. That to
Oh.
rewrite your HR principles and standards around letting the employees know, hey, AI is more important than you.
They're not the only ones though. Like the other one is the agenetic AI, where they spent $70 million to create a data center.
Yeah, that's still
Because
Crafton. That's Crafton working with
Oh,
agentic
that's-
AI. Yeah,
But
there is.
it's still, and then EA, like,
Right.
dude, it seemed like EA had turned the corner. It was just like, hey, look, we're finally becoming the good guys, and I'm like, nope, you just had to do it.
Yeah. Well, they're soon to be owned by some pretty unsavory people. So I guess it's not that surprising after all.
$10 says Crafton had AI write the handbook.
Yes,
Probably.
definitely right. If they believe in it so strongly.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean,
You cannot
Or-
speak against the
Didn't even proof it, just like
I-
slap the label on it. And
I want
Set it
somebody to
up.
find that HR handbook. Like, if it gets leaked onto the internet, somebody please share the link with me.
I'm looking forward to
CEOs.
the Callisto Protocol secret. Yeah. They're heroes.
days off, weekends,
Who needs it?
sexual harassment. Like,
Hey, you know what? You can't sexually harass a robot yet.
I love how you included yet.
Feel free. Do what you
We
gotta do.
haven't read the new handbook. We don't know.
get your hands off my plug.
No,
Oh, if the AI gets smart enough, like, don't touch my keys that way.
you wouldn't have
God.
your outlet so loose if you weren't asking for it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Can we talk about another?
The RAM was so seductive.
I miss the days when we had good news to talk about. Like it's been months, isn't it?
That's what I've been
No.
It
saying,
was
man.
asking for it. Did you see her background?
There was Halo's coming to everybody. Isn't that good news?
I guess that's good news, but it always comes with a caveat.
No more.
News.
We're bringing you Halo, but not the version you like. Right. You're gonna pay double the price.
You know, that is one thing I didn't say. Watching that footage, it really made me want to go back and play that game again. That was a like pivotal moment in my gaming career. Was playing
yeah.
Halo 1. You know what I mean? Like just the music and the Halo in the background and the flood and the warthog and there's just so many cool moments and memorable things. I'm amped to play this thing when it comes out. So I'm part of the problem. Like
Well, it'll be on Game Pass, right? So
if I have Game Pass at that point, that's the thing.
Not buying
well, you
anything
get
new.
it for 1 month. It'll be cheaper than buying the game, right? And that's how they sucker you in.
Yeah.
Then it renews because you forget about it.
Oh, no, it'll be something sooner or later. They're going to be like, oh, if you want the day one releases, you're going to have been a member for at least 3 months. That's like the next wave.
You had
One
to
could-
pre
Gotta buy into it.
buy into it like 3 months in advance just to be able to get. Oh, that's
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
do that
you
for
s-
Regal's movie membership.
Yep. You say it's scummy, but there's other companies that already do that kind of thing.
They've got to make that 30% margins.
Mhm. All right. This is the third time I've asked. Can we move on?
Remedy CEO Tero Vertala is stepping down. This comes in the wake of the company's profit warning over the disastrous reception to FBC Firebreak. Remember, Vertala took over as CEO in 2016. He was the CEO of Red Links for over a decade before that. That's the Trials company, if you are unaware. And then Marcus Maki, a co-founder of Remedy and head of franchise, is taking over as interim CEO. It seems obvious to connect the dots to Firebreak's failure, right? But this is also the guy who would have overseen Control and made the deal to get Alan Wake 2 into existence,
Right.
despite no one wanting to finance that for over a decade, right? So, like, this guy definitely did some pretty good stuff.
Oh, Taro?
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
live in a world where you can make a game that gets you a Game of the Year recognition
Mhm.
nod, and you get closed down. So
Okay.
I'd like to say I'm surprised by this. Yeah, you make two great things, but you make one bad thing,
Yeah.
or not
Well,
that it's bad, but you know what I'm saying.
What is surprising is the CEO stepping down rather than laying people off.
Yep, that's true.
So this, maybe this is a sword falling on the sword moment. I don't know.
I mean,
it's
he's getting his golden parachute. There's no way he's.
I'm not sure how golden the parachute from Remedy Entertainment is.
Well, it's a lot better than mine.
Sure, absolutely, you're absolutely right. But it's no Bobby Kotick.
Right.
Cries and money.
Yes. It is just.
It's my tissue paper parachute I've got.
Right.
I think it does illustrate what a razor wire Remedy operates on, because FBC Firebreak did not have a very big budget,
Right?
but it was enough for them to be like, we gotta make some significant changes and fast. I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting things are happening. Those Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, I bet they're really hoping those things sell gangbusters now.
Do you think they will? I know that you really like them, and I know that there, but I feel like those were very much a cult following. Is that going to have mass appeal?
Max Payne 1 was a monster hit.
Was it? Okay.
But Max Payne 2 was a disaster where you could, I think it was like 2 or 3 months after that game came out, you could go into Target and buy it new for $1.99 just because they wanted them off the shelf.
Why? I thought it felt like it played very similar to the first.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe it was because they put Love Story on the box in 2003, and maybe gamers, we hadn't matured enough to care about that.
I don't know. That sounds a little misleading too. Like,
it's a film noir love story.
It is, but what they do is cool. It's not like it's
you're right.
It's not like Final Fantasy VIII.
No, it is cool and it is sexy and it is action packed. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, it's just I don't know if that was it. That's just the only thing I've been able to think for these years. But Max Payne 3 was a big hit. So who's to say how these remakes will do?
Fair enough. Well, that is the week's news. We got a lot more to cover, so let's take a quick break and go into the new games that we've been playing. So I officially just don't get to play games anymore. So what do I get to avoid, Zach, this week?
Well, you can not play on Halloween. You could not play Tales of Xillia Remastered on PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, or PC. I know. You probably haven't played Tales, right?
I've never played a Tales game.
Yeah,
no.
I think I only played the one. Death Blonde is a car combat game coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. So if you've been loving the Twisted Metal show and have been bewildered by Sony's lack of Twisted Metal game, this could be the answer for you. On November 3rd, a new auto shooter comes out, Devil Jam. This is a very heavy metal. I think it's like a heavy metal band fighting waves of demons on PC. That sounds pretty neat. Devil Jam. On November 4th, you get your sports on with Football Manager 26 coming to everything but the Switch consoles, but also coming to iOS and Android. Satisfactory, which is a beloved game on PC, is making its way over to console on PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. And then 1000 Times Resist, which is a kind of an indie darling of last year, big hit on Steam. That's going to PS5 and Xbox Series console and will be on Game Pass. Then November 6th, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment comes to Switch 2. Siberia Remastered makes its way to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Unbeatable is an anime-themed rhythm action game coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. Of Ash and Steel is a new fantasy RPG coming to PC. And then Kentum is a 2D survival crafting game coming to PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Switch, and PC. Scott, of the many options that you won't be playing, which one would you be most interested?
I am very intrigued by 1000 Times Resist. Just that concept. I don't know if you've seen the trailer or read what the story is. Seems really interesting, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I would like to check that one out.
All right. What about you, Jacob?
Kentum seems right up my alley.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, CB?
Satisfactory.
You already own it.
I know, but now I can get achievements for it.
He wants to continue to be satisfied.
You can already get achievements for it. It's on Steam.
I know, but I can get Xbox achievements for it. Plus,
why? If Xbox is going away, what's going to happen to achievements?
Whatever.
Right.
Your lives will be meaningless.
Yeah.
I actually
Oh no.
Empty points.
I haven't touched Satisfactory since the full release. So just going back into it, and I'd be like, hey, I know how to play this game already. But I'm gonna be kind of curious to see how it would work on a controller versus mouse and keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Satisfactory. It was a fun game.
Well, like I said, I'm not playing games lately, so I can't get no Satisfactory.
Womp womp.
I'm with
That
Scott.
was such a
1,000.
reach.
He got there. I think that was fair. I'm with Scott. 1,000 times resist is where I'm at. When that game came out, there were so many of my near Automata adoring friends who were coming out telling me I had to play 1,000 times resist. So it must deal with some pretty heady themes. So I'll check it out. I'll check it out on Game Pass.
And there you have it.
Oh man, I forgot my. So, sorry, Scott and Zach. You guys have been playing Armored Core Wild West.
That's right. Officially licensed.
You just changed it. That's rude. It's only Zach. My bad.
Well, yeah, I had planned to play it, and then
Never did. Okay.
never did because people's time is more valuable than mine, apparently. So
What's that thing you guys say inside baseball?
A lot of pressure. Yeah, you guys see how the sausage is made. A lot of pressure on me to talk about Bounty Star, the morose tale of Graveyard Clem.
best
I wanna
title
say
of a game I've seen in a while. I love that
It's
title.
pretty good. It's a pretty great title.
Now, okay, put aside your love for westerns for a second
Uh-huh.
and tell me how fun this game is to play.
Terrible then, obviously. No, I mean, boy, Bounty Star. Yeah, we had Ben Ruiz on last week to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
The game is heavily Western themed, so I don't know how to dance around that, Scott, because it's not just a tinge; it is very much Western. It is set in the post apocalypse of America, like something destroyed the world, and the humanity is rebuilding. Also, dinosaurs came along with it for some reason.
Whoa!
Yeah, you said post apocalyptic.
That's right. The world ended, and now it is rebuilding, and feathery little dinosaurs are chilling. But yeah, you play as Graveyard Clem, who had a bad thing happen in her past, which you see in the opening minutes. And then you kind of play her as she's running this farmstead out of a garage, as well as becoming a bounty hunter who operates out of a mech.
I've been intrigued since we talked to Ben about it last week. So actually, a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. The rhythm of the game is you'll like start your day, doing your farm chores. So if you wish, I always wish, and then you plant your crops, you water them, you can raise chickens, collect the eggs, make yourself some delicious meals before you go out on missions. You can later on you could raise some dinosaurs if you want to. There's a lot you could do at the farm. And perhaps if you're like me, you're going to make your bounties a lot harder because I keep not spending money on my mech and I keep spending all my money on my farm because I just I want that looking nice and pretty. And then I go out on the missions and get a little steamrolled sometimes. But what are you going to do? I need my chickens taken care of. I got a little pet chicken named Chainsaw. That's my dude. I would hate to see anything bad happen to him.
That is a great name for the chicken.
Yeah. But when you go out on missions, there are these little, basically combat arenas that you're dropped into with your mech, and you will, take your bounties in dead or alive with mech combat.
Oh, you can take them alive?
You can. Yeah, you get a little lasso thing that you could shoot out of your mech, and it wraps them up. And nicely, I was kind of concerned at first because I was like, "What, I gotta make sure not to shoot these guys after I take them?" And they become invincible after you lasso them up. No worries. So you can grenade launch into their face to kill their friends, and you don't have to worry about anything.
So, how does it feel though? Because like the trailer made the combat just look very strafey in a good way. Like lots of how mobile are you?
Yeah. So your mech is definitely heavy. It doesn't feel like a Japanese mecha.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like a war machine. It is heavy. It is slow. And your weapons, accompany that. You have like little dashes you can do. But what's cool is there's a lot of customization in those mechs, so you can have regular boosters, or you can have one that maybe won't take you as far out of the way of danger, but it will cool your temperature, because your temperature is a constant concern as you're firing weapons, and the different times of day you go out also affect your temperature in different ways. Like the afternoon will be super hot, so it's probably best to bring those little cooldown jets. So yeah, the combat is good. I don't think it's great. They have this mechanic where they have like a lot of the enemies have a stability bar, and what that means is there's like this blue bar underneath their health, and as long as that's there, they don't actually react to melee attacks, so you can't like stagger them. And it feels unsatisfying. At least there's a strategy where you kind of want to weaken them with your ranged attacks before you get in there. But it took some getting used to that rhythm of combat for me personally.
So you said you're playing this where you like to, because one of the things we talked about with Ben when we did the interview was that you can kind of choose to just do the combat, just do the farming, or whatever balance of that you want to. You're clearly liking to do both and trying to explore both. Do you feel that you'd be okay just doing the mech stuff with doing less of the farming? I know you want to, but if someone just has no interest in doing that style of game and they just want to do the mech stuff, they're going to be okay?
Oh yeah, I think you would be if you're just there for the action gameplay. I think there's enough consideration in there, and then yeah, like I had a tough time getting into the combat, but once you kind of learn, I think it's just like a fairly unique style of play. Once you learn how to play Bounty Star, I think it has my relationship with it has improved dramatically. So I think if you give it some time, I think you can get really engaged with the action combat, and the showdowns with like when you're fighting like a mech one-on-one, and you're having that kind of heated exchange where you're keeping your temperature in check, and you're keeping apprised of your environment, or maybe you're using your jump jets to get some height advantage. Like there's definitely a fun rhythm to the combat. Okay. I think so. If you were just there for the action, I think you're in good shape. But the farm stuff is so important to the story that it feels hard to ignore, in that Clem is a very broken woman after the intro, and she's trying to put herself back together. So it's just kind of natural to also be putting this farm together. And it's kind of a cycle of healing from the trauma thing.
And then taking the trauma out on other people.
Yes, and you're stomping their face in with your mech to tell them how much you want to be better by curb stomping them.
I want to heal.
Sounds awesome. So you recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it. It's on Game Pass. I think if you want a good story of trauma, I think you're going to find it here in Bounty Star. And then it's fun to build up your post-apocalypse Western farmstead, at least for a person like me. I think if you're a big mech head, I think if you put more money into the mech side of it, you're probably have a more enriching action experience. But I'm having such a good time putting all my money into my plant beds that's where I'm putting my money.
Awesome. Again, that is Bounty Star. You're gonna have to give me the subtitle. I don't want to mess it up. I forgot to write it down.
The Morose Tale of Graveyard Clem.
I just love that. That's good. And it is available on just PS5.
PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and Steam. I don't know where you got that.
My notes. I wrote it down wrong in my notes. I apologize. So. Check it out. It is $99. Yeah, great price. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out. And like you said, it's on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, there's also he said 8 to 12 hours. By the way, I think he's full. This is a beefier game than he was selling.
Well, you're doing everything, right? Like
I guess I am doing all of the side bounties. Yeah, you're right. So I guess it is good then, huh?
Right. Yeah. All right, CB. I know you're a big, massive fan of Power Wash Simulator. You're playing the sequel, Power Wash Simulator 2, presumably on Xbox, but it's also available on PlayStation, Switch, and PC. What's different? Like, how do you wash differently?
There's lore.
Well, I mean, if you completed the original Power Wash Simulator, there was a hidden story. But no, they've expanded from the original game. The original game, there was like 20 levels. In this, there's 38. A lot of levels are bigger, far bigger. There's new power wash stuff. There's the floor scrubber that you can get now, which is really weird to use because you can also use it on walls. So you can just like pick it up and just like move it along the wall. I will say that the controls are definitely a lot crisper.
Okay.
Like in this,
They were fine on the original. I didn't have any issues.
They were fine, but it's not. It seems a little more snappy. Visuals definitely seem improved, and like there's a better margin of error when cleaning things because like you played the first one, right?
Yeah, there was like getting that last speck was always like,
dude, it was always a nightmare. Or like you'd have like two walls and like you could only hit the very crease if you stood like a certain distance. And did you finish the first one?
No.
Or like get all the attachments?
No.
Okay. So it got to the point in the first one where if you upgraded everything, the red attachment where it's like a straight stream. There was a final attachment you could get where it was basically 3 of those. And so it was basically just this like straight jet stream of water.
Wait, 3 on top of each other or 3 like
like 3 like in a trident almost.
Oh.
This time they have a like the red nozzle, but you can actually widen the stream out. So like as long as you just upgrade and go straight for that, you're like, okay, I've already got like the strongest one in the game. The levels are like I love the level design in these because sometimes it's just like weird things like in the first one there was that there's a huge skate park that you can clean. In this one there's a giant rock climbing park.
Oh.
So like there's you in the first one it was like you had the scaffolding and like a ladder. In this one you have like the scaffolding, the ladder, there's like
bucket truck.
There's it's a scissor lift.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which you can sit there and use up and down, but they also have like the window washer mounts. So like on tall buildings you can put this and then you basically sit in this little swing and you can swing back and forth going up and down the sides of buildings.
Wait a minute, do you have to like swing back and forth and go up here? Oh, got that spot. Come back up, got that spot. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's but yeah, the scissor lift is up, down. You just can't drive it forward and backwards. Somehow you can just still pick this thing up and like move it around.
That's hilarious.
I wish you could drive the scissor lift. But there's some there's some nods and callbacks to the first one. Like some of the level design you do, like there's you're cleaning a shooting gallery and it has some of the set pieces in the shooting gallery from the first game. And like when you hit like the little targets, like each one of them does something different. There's also a home base that you can decorate, which has a plethora of cats in it. Which you can pet. They're all like orange tabby cats named like Bubbles or Squeak.
I just meant what you were cleaning up was probably gross.
No, they just sit there and they just make, which I didn't realize they were there at first. So I'm playing this game and I just keep hearing this cat like meow, meow, and like just making like purring noises. And I'm like, I thought it was my cat. So I'm sitting here playing this game and I'm like, what is wrong with my cat? And then I looked at and I'm like, oh, there's a cat on the floor and like you can pet the cat.
Did you have headphones on?
No.
Okay. I was going to make fun of you if you did.
No. So, but yeah, you sit there and then as you're walking, like all of a sudden I'm like, oh, look, the cat's over here now. And then it's like, oh no, that's just another cat. But now one of the other things they've added in is like, so you got money for doing each one of the cleaning assignments, which you can use to upgrade your equipment, but you also get power wash points now to get things to decorate your home base. So they're definitely expanding this out. It's definitely a lot more fleshed out. I'm having fun with it. probably got like 8 levels left.
All right. What about like any crazy locales to clean? Like I know that the DLC for the first game had things from licensed properties like Final Fantasy VII and Wallace and Gromit and Warhammer and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what the DLCs are gonna be, but so far there's nothing licensed. But the one I just finished was a roller disco.
Okay.
So very, very 80s aesthetic. I did a car that was dressed like a dog.
Like
So
Dumb and Dumber?
not quite that, but like in the style of.
Okay. Can you play any of the old DLCs on this engine with like the
Not-
new equipment and stuff?
Not yet. Like there's no DLCs or anything for this yet. So I'm hoping they do as many DLCs they did for the first one, because there's like 8 or 9.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of stuff would probably get me into it a bit more. Like,
The Tomb
I-
Raider mansion and
yeah, like that kind of stuff, or just like random stuff that maybe some classic games. I don't know. I just that would make me sit up and take notice a little bit more than just random stuff. But I also didn't play it nearly as much as you. So
it's a lot of fun. So I'm, like I said, I'm hoping they continue, because it is a fun sit down and just kind of relax.
oh yeah, unwind game, podcast
Oh.
game, right?
It is like the perfect thing for it.
Yeah, that is Power Wash Simulator 2. It's $30, or you can get it on Game Pass. I may have to check that one out or add it to the list of games I'll never play. And there you have
Yeah.
it.
Speaking of games we'll never play, Zach, back to you with Dispatch.
Well, I want to play this.
Wow. Okay. You know, like Telltale style games, huh?
This feels like Oops, I Became a Superhero.
Yeah. So I kind of got that vibe from the initial trailers as well. I thought this, especially like I kind of thought the main character is going to be some kind of bumbling sort of character, but nah, he's very capable as a superhero. He starts off as Mecha Man in a suit, and but then he's going out for revenge against his father's killer, a supervillain, and it does not go well for him. So now he's working at the Superhero Dispatch Network, and he's just he's kind of a sad dude, and it's just it's just more interesting than I thought the trailers had indicated for our main character.
Yeah, the trailer that I saw for it showed him like at the call center first, and then he went out. I thought it was going to become like, well, I could do it better. And then he
Oh
was,
yeah.
like, take to the skies, and
No, it's
wow.
much more. It kind of reminds me of like a sports movie where you have like an ex-pro who's like he becomes a washed-up coach sort of thing.
Gotcha.
That's the vibe I am, because he's working at the Superhero Dispatch Network, and you're working with a team of reformed supervillains. So as you might expect, they don't always get along. They might not always listen to what you tell them to do. There's a lot of conflict. Nobody really gets along, which is somewhat refreshing, honestly. Like no one's talking about their problems. Everyone's just wanting to talk crap to each other.
Right.
That sounds great, dude.
Yeah, it's a pretty good fun rhythm. Aaron Paul plays the lead. He's doing a great job of Breaking Bad fame. But in terms of the actual gameplay, however, it is very standard. Pick your dialogue in a timed fashion. Do some QTE cutscenes. Although you can turn the QTEs off here if you just want to kind of watch it as an animated show,
That's interesting.
where you just pick the options, and then the real meat of the gameplay is when you're doing the dispatching, where you will get calls 911 style, and you need to pick the right character for the right jobs. So maybe there's like someone hires your app to do a formal speaking engagement, right? So you want to pick one of your supervillains who knows how to con people because he's going to be good at talking. Or if there's a fire that breaks out, maybe send the guy who's fireproof to help smother it out. Different things like that, and they all need different times to rest and get back to base before they go on another job. So it's like a time management game in that sense.
How was I supposed to know the guy that was named Firefighter fights with fire?
Right.
Like, I thought it was like
He's, gotta get your flambe out there. But all the characters so far have been pretty interesting. Jeffrey Wright of the Batman fame.
Oh man, I knew him from another
Westworld?
TV show, but Yeah, Westworld. Thank you. I
Yeah.
got nothing.
He plays your boss and former friend who was a speedster, but he did not realize that when he uses speed, he also quickly aged.
Mhm.
So he's like only supposed to be like kind of 10 years, kind of older brother vibes with you, but he looks like he's 80. So
Jeez.
it's a pretty good relationship there. And yeah, just kind of good vibes all around. They're releasing the episodes in a somewhat weekly fashion where it's 2 episodes a week right now. I think that's a lot of fun because it gives you something to look forward to.
I like that. That's cool because remember back in the old days, you're waiting like months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like the Wolf Among Us was like 6 months in between episode 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is the case. The game is done. It's just releasing weekly to, give you a little something to look forward to, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because we don't live in a world of restraint, so who would hold themselves back otherwise?
I know. I've said this before. I wish some of those TV shows would release. Remember like when we were like when Mandalorian was hot for a while there, and it was like you had that episode to look forward to each week.
All right. Yeah.
Now,
I kind of wish Dispatch was doing it just one a week.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe two up front, one every week after.
There you go.
That'd
Yeah.
have been cool.
That's what they do with the TV shows.
Yeah.
How
that's
many
pretty common.
episodes are there supposed to be?
Is that going to be 8 episodes total? So 4 weeks of releases. So if you want to wait and play it all at once, November 12th is when the whole package will be out.
Nice.
And although warning for any prudes out there, this game is surprisingly horny as hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So get ready for that.
I saw that and I looked this up and just because I'm gonna probably download this tonight because I love these style of games. It's like the first warning. It's like, yes, the full frontal male nudity can be turned off.
Yes, there's a penis
I'm
in
like-
opening moments.
I'm like, wow, that's aggressive.
One female character introduces herself by saying, "Well, I'm wet." So yeah, it ain't playing around here in Dispatch. It's earning that M rating.
Apparently.
It's also got Young Gravy in it.
I don't know who that is.
I
Whatever.
was weirdly fascinated to find out that he was going to be in it.
like the Young Gravy's in this. I'm like,
Who
this
is this?
great.
There have been so many people I've seen people talk like, "Oh, I can't believe this guy's performance is actually really good in Dispatch." I'm like, I do not. I'm so out of touch. I don't know who this person is. I've never heard of a Moist Critical in my life. Wow, but everybody's stoked that he's in here. That's great.
Who?
Moist
Yes,
Critical YouTuber.
I guess he's a YouTuber, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But I learned about his existence through this game.
Here's the thing, Scott. I know you spent time on TikTok. You know who this is, just because they use his woohoo reaction in a ton of stuff.
Oh, he's
All
the
right.
woohoo guy. I do know the
Yeah.
woohoo.
That's
right.
him.
Famous for woohooing, Moist Critical is in this game. If that's going to tip you over the edge,
he's a woo girl.
Yeah, he
I
is
don't
a
know
woo
what
girl.
All right, we got one more game to talk about before we get out of here. Mark stops by to talk to us about some Fast and the Furious action, which I know CB's all about. We're going to play that for you right now. Thanks, Mark. As always, it is great to hear from you. Remind everybody, facebook.com/groups/the GoCast if you'd like to join our community or the Discord server. Links in the show notes. Check out our website, thegamingoutsider.com. You can find all of our written content, including Mark's review of By Sweet Caroline, which, man, is another game that just looks outstanding. I really want to check out that game.
just
But-
by Sweet Carol. Just say it. I don't want to.
Did I say Caroline?
You did.
And thank you. By Sweet Carol. I'm Ron Burgundy myself. All right. Let's go ahead now and jump into our From the Outside In topic. All right. It is the 40th anniversary of the Nintendo Entertainment System. I can't believe it's 40 years old, first off, but thought it was a good time for us to get a little history lesson from Zach about it, talk about some of ours and our listeners' favorite memories of the console. I have this one has a special place in my heart, as it does CB's, I'm sure. But Zach, go ahead, enlighten us. What are you gonna tell me that I don't already know about the NES?
I feel like you probably know most of this stuff, right? This console's been around for your lifetime, man.
I know, dude. I was
As a-
5 years old when this thing came out.
You mean when it released on October 18th in 1985 in America?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's NES went on to sell 61.91 million units worldwide, so it's a pretty big hit, obviously. So Nintendo, back when they were a board and card game company, they saw the success of Magnavox and Atari, and they decided to get into this market because they were seeing that electronics were cheap enough that they could afford to take the risk.
What was that like?
Yeah, dude. Electronics used to go down in price, actually.
Right?
It's pretty weird to think about. They worked with Mitsubishi and Sharp to assist their console developments, which were eventually their first result was the Game & Watch series of handheld consoles.
Ooh,
CB's Karate Chopping.
I may have to jump you on this one.
Okay.
Game & Watch was their second.
Okay, what was it first?
It was the Color TV Fun,
Okay.
both the 6 and the 12, which sold about 3 million units apiece.
Okay. Following the success of the Game & Watch, Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi wanted to enter the console market, and he wanted to focus on simplicity and family affordability, hence the family computer. It was intentionally designed to look and feel like a toy anyone could pick up and interact with. So it was intentionally, made colorful and simple.
Which is funny compared to what they did with the U.S., but I'm getting ahead of myself.
I would say, we decidedly we're less colorful people over here, though.
Apparently.
Do you know why it was designed that way?
Mm-hmm.
We just said it looked like a toy.
No. Why the U.S. one was designed to look that way?
Because they wanted it to look familiar, like a VCR.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Just plain Jane gray boring.
Yes. Yeah. Project manager Takao Sawano was dead set on their console being better than the ColecoVision, so much so that he bought a ColecoVision and would play it at home to remind himself that we got to do better than this.
Wow.
He wanted to have sprites as beautiful as Nintendo's own Donkey Kong arcade cabinet, but in the home. So they enlisted chips manufacturer Ricoh to help see the vision through. And by removing any and all non-essential hardware components, the console managed to come in at around half the launch price of its contemporaries, which I'm sure helped be a success. At first, Nintendo thought they were going to only allow their own first-party made games, but thankfully they were convinced by Nintendo or Namco and Hudson Soft that they should allow third-party games on their console. Although they did insist on taking 30% cut of the sales, which is a standard that they have set that still exists to this day for all consoles and Steam and everybody but the Epic Game Store, who only takes 12%.
Wow.
Everybody else takes 30%.
And that brought up a whole lot of drama with the NES too, with where some companies were trying to find a way around it. CB knows that history better than I do.
Oh yeah,
that's why we get the Tengen games with the black cartridges and the blue cartridges and all that kind of stuff.
Right, because publishers were limited to how many games they could release a year, right? For their seal of quality.
Not just release, but you actually had to buy the board and chipsets and the actual shells from Nintendo.
And then still had to get a 30% cut.
They controlled everything on it.
But I mean, they were the name, though,
Mm-hmm.
Atari was originally on board to bring the Famicom to North America, but they delayed the deal over game exclusivity concerns for the silliest reason, because they saw like some computer running it, I think Donkey Kong at CES, and for some reason they thought like, well, that's obviously official, and then delayed it, even though it was not. It was just like some programming guy.
Mm-hmm.
But that was enough for them to delay the deal and try to hardball with Nintendo, and so Ray Casson cost them the deal. The president of Atari, he would get fired. I don't know if it's just for that, but around that time he was fired. I'm just saying, quite a coincidence. Nintendo would bring the console to North American stores as a Nintendo Entertainment System by themselves, although they were briefly considering the name the Advanced Video System, the AVS.
Yeah, which I believe during their initial like small launch in New York, they actually did have it brandished as the AVS.
Just doesn't hold off the tongue the same way. AVS.
No,
doesn't hit like NES.
You guys been building my abs recently?
Yeah, come over, check out my abs, bro. Check out my Wii and my abs. Nintendo of America engineers Lance Barr and Don James thought the Famicom looked like a child's lunchbox to them. I don't get the lunchbox thing, but that's what they said. And redesigned it into the two-tone gray to present a sleeker look to American audiences, as CB said, and that way it wouldn't look out of place on your entertainment shelf because it looks so much like a VCR. Including, that's why it's got the flap that covers the cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a VCR resemblance. Nintendo of America referred to game cartridges as game packs and the console as a control deck in a bid to make it sound more like a toy to retail stores, which somehow worked.
Game
I
Pack
don't-
with a K, right? It was just PAK.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
For some-
a lot of that is just marketing because there was so much stigma still around video games.
Because of the crash of '83, right?
Well, there were actually a lot of companies that if you specifically said video game, they wouldn't even put it on the shelves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just funny to me. Like that's enough for KB Toys to be like, well, all right, I guess it's not a video game console then.
Yeah.
That's where that's where the hatred for video games started, was the crash, right? That's why to this
Yeah.
day people are like, video games are stupid.
You're so stupid. Launched with 17 games in North America, including obviously Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt. I think those are obviously the two big ones. Ice Climber, and of course, as we all remember fondly, Wild Gunman
I knew you were gonna put that in there.
had to be.
Hey, gotta
Important.
use your hands. It's like a baby.
You're a
toy.
crack shot at that game, I hear.
Crash shot. Nintendo hired toy company Worlds of Wonder to help distribute the NES in America, and World of Wonder was incredibly aggressive in doing so. They strong-armed retailers that they wanted the company's hot, incredibly popular toys like Laser Tag. They would have to also stock the Nintendo Entertainment System for the holidays. It's pretty. They really put themselves out there.
Yeah, that's so wild that they went with Worlds of Wonder as well. Like, I mean, granted, yes, like laser tag was a thing at that time, like point in time, but then like you look to Canada, and so in Canada, instead of Worlds of Wonder, it was all done by Mattel.
Oh yeah.
So if you actually have the Canadian launch NES boxes, instead of like the little Worlds of Wonder, like down in the like back corner, it's actually got a branded Mattel sticker on the front.
Interesting. I wonder if it was just like during negotiations, Worlds of Wonder's like, we're going to put our name on the line for your console.
Yeah. And
Right?
then
So that would be a pretty nice sales pitch.
yeah. So but again, like I said, it's just so wild that like you have a company like Mattel who's so like brandished with toys
Mm-hmm.
that like they choose to go with Worlds of Wonder.
Yeah. But it worked out for them, right? Because despite the fears of the video game crash of '83 had forever diminished the console market in America, Nintendo pushed ahead and forever changed the game industry and changed forever the lives of Scott Clark and Chris Behrensmeyer.
Yeah.
True story.
Touchback console.
I wish we would have got the Famicom cart so instead.
Why?
No way.
I just like the size of them and like the fact that they use like
It is
the
crazy to
colors.
think that like that's all you need is that space. Like we have this whole long honking cartridge. You know what I mean? And all you and the whole board is really just at the bottom of the thing. Just kinda
but it
crazy.
has that fun grip spot when you take it in and out of the console.
That was pretty cool.
It's pretty
But
neat.
and then they went back. Remember when they did the top loader?
Yep.
Which functioned the same way, and those things were hard, like because they were so long. It was just not quite the same leverage as just smashing it down in there. Like they corrected that with the Super Nintendo, right? Like it was-
Yeah, well, the Super Nintendo also had the button to like eject it.
Yeah, exactly. That too. Yeah.
Which like I actually just recently found out, but like when you put the NES and you push down, you don't have to push down.
Really?
No.
You
Because
just-
when you push it in and then you push down.
No,
to,
I'm
like,
just
lock it into
surprised you
place.
just now recently figured that out. I figured that's something you would have known about a lot when you were a
Well,
kid.
somebody and I were talking about it, and like they're like, yeah, you don't have to push it down. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, think of it like when you use the Game Genie,
Oh yeah,
because the Game Genie, like you can't push it down.
right, and it still worked. You're totally
So-
right. Jake, did you grow up with an E NES?
I'm angry. I'm so angry about that feature. So my video game backstory is a little weird because I'm actually really late to all this stuff. Like I don't think I had an NES until I was 5. And I was born in 90. So
Okay.
it felt like all these consoles came out really quick to me because I had the NES and then I got a N64
Oh, you're
and then I
already
got
up
a
to Super
PlayStation.
Nintendo Genesis. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, I really like video games. I want the next console, and it went right to N64 and then right to PlayStation right after that. And I thought all this stuff came out really quick. So
So you're looking forward to the next generation of consoles. You're like, come on, new PlayStation 6.
no, because I thought they were going to come out like rapid fire, and then they stopped coming out so fast.
Right.
And I found out why. I was really late to it. But I only had probably about 6 or 7 games. Why do you keep doing that? Stop it. I only had about 6 or 7 games for the NES growing up.
Mhm.
And one of them was the 3-in-1 Mario Duck Hunt and Track
Yeah.
and Field.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna jump down and read Sean Coates's
Sure,
comment
go
real
ahead.
quick. This was my first console. Sean Coates says, this was my first console and it made me a gamer through and through. I got mine 35 years ago and it was the Power Set. It's the version that came with 2 controllers, an orange zapper, the NES Power Pad, and a combo cartridge with Super Mario Bros., Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet. Does anyone else remember cheating at World Class Track Meet by getting on your hands and knees and rapidly slapping the pad to beat the game? I did that all the time, as often as I could. I was sitting
I
in my
didn't do it
living
with
room.
my palms. I did it with my fists.
Oh,
I
no.
would like
My
beat on
mom-
those things, and I
You're
actually
you're like Donkey Kong.
yeah.
my
I
mom got
literally had sores on the bottom of my fists from like
this.
pounding.
This
on
is
that
my
power pad.
original power pad from when I was a kid. And
Wow.
so there's a version of me that's sitting on 5 and 6, just beating the hell out of 1 and 2, just running. And so,
But then you had to do the hurdles, so it was like
You had to
Oh no,
Ah.
long jump where you're like, and you just let off. Oh no,
Yeah.
you let off and try to see how far you could get before you put your hands down.
right
uh,
before they
Sean
knew you
Coates-
were cheating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Coates goes on to say, I also had Mario 2 and 3, Terminator 2, the Rocketeer, Batman Where's Waldo, Bugs Bunny Birthday Blowout, and a Game Genie. I'm sure I had others, but those are the ones that I remember having at the time. Oh, I also remember we had an aerobics game that my mom frequently used. I remember you had to flip over the power pad to the other configuration.
It was
Which I
dance
didn't-
aerobics.
I didn't even know that there was another configuration one day until I saw my mom cleaning up after me. Like
Oh, yeah?
it just lived on my floor. Like,
Wow.
But the other game that I played, probably I had Ninja. Is it Ninja Gaiden back then?
Mhm.
There was another one. I can't, like Dragon Quest. I hated that game. I was terrible at games when I was a kid because I could
Dragon
not,
Warrior.
yeah, that one. Hated the game when I was growing up because I could. The very first part of the game is you spawn in and you're supposed to walk 20 feet to the right and open a door. And I didn't know there was a door there. I just walked in circles and I was like, this game's dumb. Like, I was terrible at games when I first started playing, but I loved Duck Hunt and I loved the World Track Last Meet. So that's my experience with it.
Nice. Zach, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely spent some time with the NES. Bill Elliott's NASCAR Racing. Shout out, hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Played the crap out of that. As I've told the story before, my grandpa made us earn our way through the consoles to get the better ones. So yeah, I played a lot of stuff on NES. I can't say, I can't say I played probably as much as you guys, because I was just trying to get that Super Nintendo probably.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the NES was fun. But of course, Mario Brothers, what a classic! You play that endlessly. Duck Hunt was fun with me and my brothers because when the dog's laughing at you, you got 2 brothers laughing at you too, and that's you get the extra mockery it goes a long way. So yeah, I mean the NES is cool. I love the controller of the NES a lot.
You know what's funny? You say that. Can I bring up a comment really quick?
Yeah, of course.
Thomas Bex on Discord said, I only played the game on the NES about 15 years ago when I tried a bit of Mario. The one thing I remember about this console is that the controller is truly terrible. Worst controller I have ever used.
Well, I
Have you
can't
tried
speak.
the Apple Pippin.
I can't speak. Playing it as an adult, but for the first time in a post Xbox controller world. But back then, I love that NES. And
It was
I love
awesome as a kid,
love
man.
it to this day. Yeah, it just feels cool.
It feels so small now. Like if you go back and
Yes,
actually play, I
they
was
are
like, oh my
small,
God,
yeah.
this thing is small.
It's
Um,
one of the most iconic controllers. Like you can hold up just a controller, no branding, and almost everybody is like, that's an NES controller.
Well, iconic imagery doesn't necessitate good design necessarily. But for those at home, Scott is wearing NES controller pajamas right now.
I am wearing it.
But I will argue it is. a
Scott
good
showed me
controller.
his butt.
Well, whatever you guys do in your free time is up to you.
You will argue what, Zach?
that it is a good controller.
I love that controller. I used to play with my brother. My brother was 5 years younger than me. So when I got mine, I was probably 8 or 9 years old, which would have made him 3 or 4. And I had for the longest time on the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner of my controller, it was just teeth marks. My brother used to play and just like gnaw on that corner while he was playing it. So I was like, oh, that's your controller, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's player 2.
Oh my god.
I never forgot that.
Is that the brother we know?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna slap him.
Yeah.
With a
You should
controller.
bring that next time you see that, bring that up. I wonder if he remembers that.
I'm gonna bring something. The next time I see him, I'm just gonna bring one of the controllers. Be like, I brought you a snack.
There you go.
He's not gonna have a clue what you're talking about.
You know what was pretty great on the NES, I'll tell you?
Hmm.
The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Man, I have a story. The first time I saw Legend of Zelda, I was a teenager. I had never even heard of Legend of Zelda for like the longest time. No, I was either preteen or early teen years. I was visiting a Christian college. Like my family was set on me going to a Christian college when I graduated high school. And so they would send me on these things to go like stay in the dorms and whatnot. And I was staying in a dorm and one of the guys had a Nintendo with Zelda on it. And I was just blown away by that. That's what games could be. It wasn't just scores. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
he was going on an adventure. And I could not wrap my head around how cool that was at the time. So yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to
No. You're fine.
step on your.
We are waxing poetic about these.
Yeah.
That's how conversations work.
Mm-hmm. Got anything more to add there, Zach, or should I move on to CB?
No.
All right, CB.
Oh man, where do I start?
For
I
the
think I
comments.
was. You know what? I will read a comment before I talk, and I'm going to read your wife's. So, Melinda Gunderson writes in, some of my earliest memories with the NES are tied to holidays at my aunt's house, where my cousin's system was the highlight of every visit. The excitement of setting up the old track and field power pad and the competition of sprinting and jumping hurdles, laughing until we cried when one of us fell because the pad started to bunch up. Later, after eating and we could barely move, playing rounds of Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, or Dizzy.
Wow, the rare mention of Dizzy.
Yeah, Fantastic Adventures of Dizzy.
Yeah. Also, Track and Field was not a Power Pad game.
So some of the stuff you could like still do, if you actually knew the button. So the button layouts, you can actually still function with the Power Pad.
But Track and Field was
it doesn't work. But yes, it's not.
No, I feel like that was a
athletic
common like people would often say, "Oh, I played Track and Field on my Power Pad," when they were talking about world class track meet.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
there
know
was
if that's the case
also there was also Athletic World. There's like another one that you can use the Power Pad for.
Well, stadium events or what was the one that had the pictures of kids jumping over logs on the top of it?
Like
Something teams. It had team in the name
Like,
of it.
yeah. Man, now like I can see the
I can
art
see the box
for it.
art. Yeah, Super Team Games.
Super Team Games.
Short Order Explode.
Oh
that
yeah.
was that was one. Street Cop.
Oh
could play
yeah. I
with the
forgot
Power
that you
Pad.
can play Street Cop on there.
Obviously,
What a
stadium
terrible
events.
game.
And that's it.
But yeah, so for me, my first experience with an NES, I went to KinderCare
All
when I
right.
was younger, and they had one there, and it was the Track and Field. My parents saw us playing it one day. My dad went out and bought, so we got one for that year for Christmas. I think it was like 1988. So we were late to the party.
Mhm.
But it actually sat in the corner of the very room that I'm recording in. Right here next to me, there was a TV stand that we used to sit there and play it. And it was always me and my dad every Saturday morning playing Galaga, Super Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt.
Galaga, one of the best
One of
ports
the
of
best
an arcade
ports.
game ever.
Oh, the NES ports were so good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, so I don't remember if you guys like Scott, you'll probably remember it, but do you remember Video Outlets?
Oh yeah.
So there used to be one across Perryville from my neighborhood, and we used to walk over there all the time, and we would rent Nintendo games from there. Like it was like we would pick up 2 every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And me being the dumb kid would always see like the different colored Nintendo carts
Yep.
and would rent those. So it was always things like, and that's why I have an unhealthy love for the game Captain Comic, which is an awful game.
Yep.
But I would always get like those. I like the Color Dreams, the Wisdom Tree ones, the Tengen carts.
They're black cartridges, man. They look cooler and they were
Oh,
sleeker.
and they were yeah, they had the angled front.
Yeah. Alien Syndrome.
Tubin.
I played
much
the
Tubin.
mess out of Tubin. Did you guys ever play that one, Zach, Jake? Do you even know what we're talking about?
Nope.
It was a game where you literally were paddling down a river, going downstream in a tube. You were a character on the top. It was over the head, like top view, and your 2 buttons. There was no controller controlling with the gamepad. It was just the B and the A buttons. One did your left arm, one did your right arm, and you would like try to navigate down this hill. It was a lot of fun when I was a kid. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. But I mean, even to this day, like I still love playing like Captain Skyhawk, which is a hard game.
I was gonna say that's a tough game.
It's a tough game, but I could just about still do it on
Can
one
ya?
set of lives.
Nice.
But like there's so many like classic games, and I mean, with like over almost 700 games in the US, like there's still like those other games, and like that's where a lot of the memories for me is like collecting them over time, but playing some of the games that didn't get released here in the US,
Right.
like Sweet Home, which is a horror game, which like if you've ever played it, it's for at the time, like it was graphic chiller.
I was gonna
like-
say, isn't that's the light gun one, right?
Yep, it's a light gun game, but like they had a adult, like it almost got like adults only on the box
Right.
at that
Yeah.
time, just because like they're like, oh, there's blood in this game. Man, like it's just wild to think like how much of a revolution that 8-bit console started at like completely revitalizing the game industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I love mine dearly. I still play on my original NES.
Yeah, I've got mine sitting in here too. I plug it in every once in a while. It's fond memories, and
Which is crazy to think about. Like 40 years old, those consoles are still chugging along, and
yeah,
like the Xbox 360, like that first like wave, it's like you couldn't look at
6
it wrong.
months.
Otherwise, just look at Red Ringed.
yeah. So I grew up playing the Atari 2600 and arcade games, and as you know, those games were all score grab games. That's all it was. It was like arcade things that had no story with it. There was no real goal. It was just last as long as you can and score as many points as you can. And it's then the NES came around, and I realized that games could be so much more. There could be stories in games. There could be even a light story, like you had a game with purpose. I mean, obviously Super Mario Brothers was, just rescue the princess, but you had something other than score going on. And that's just what blew my mind about that. I talked about that with Zelda earlier. I just could not wait to get my hands on one. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie 8-Bit Christmas that came out about 3 or 4 years ago. It's available on Hulu and stuff like right now. Watch that movie. That kid in that movie is me when I was younger. I mean, it's just about the exact right age. Absolutely obsessed with getting a Nintendo. Could not think of anything else but getting a Nintendo. Begged his parents for a Nintendo, and then the magical day came when he got one, and it was glorious. I am missing the picture. I don't know where it is, but there's a picture of me at the house I lived at in Avalon, Wisconsin on my birthday when I got it for my birthday. I'm holding it up to the side like this with my brother looking off to the side, and that picture has just disappeared from my dad's collection. I cannot find it. I wish I had that. You would not believe the smile on my face, and it sat in our living room for years and years and years and years. I don't even know where to begin with the memories of games I've got, but I'll try to go with some that I've not talked about as much on the show. But even my parents getting into it. I remember falling asleep at night, listening from the upstairs of our 2-story farmhouse, trying to fall asleep while my parents are in the basement playing Tetris, and they've got the music, the CB, you'll know what I'm talking about, the third track on C. It's like C, track C or whatever.
Yep.
It's this like haunting melody. And there's something about that game that the bass carries further than the treble. So I would just at night hear dun 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 dun. Like it just like that was like burned into my brain as a kid. My mom had an unhealthy obsession with Bubble Bobble. That song will never leave my brain. I don't care if Alzheimer's hits. That game is going to be burned in my memory forever.
That's Dr. Mario for me.
Yeah.
Like that. I can just hear it now, just playing in the back of my head.
I actually shared with my students this past week the original commercial for Super Mario Brothers 3. I don't know if you remember the commercial. It was like just a guy saying, yeah. They started with one guy saying Mario, and then they back it up, and it's all these people just shouting Mario with different colored shirts on. And you back it up, and then presumably it makes like Mario's face on the planet Earth, and no gameplay. No screenshots of anything, just the fact that Super Mario Brothers 3 existed outside of, what we saw in The Wizard, which was basically a glorified Super Mario Brothers 3 commercial. Dude, the obsession, I cannot even begin to tell you the feelings of melancholy I had. All my friends that had a Nintendo and had Super Mario Brothers 3. I lived in a campground when I was a kid. I'm sorry for all the stories, guys, but I'm very passionate about this console.
Isn't that the point of this one?
So I lived in the campground for about 3, 4, 5 years of my childhood, and I had a friend that had a Nintendo, and he was in his camper, and he would not let me come play it. He just wouldn't let. They knew I wanted to play it, and they were being mean. And we're gonna go play Super Mario Brothers 3 right now. And all I could do was sit outside the window and listen to the sounds of the game and just like imagine what this game was.
Just try to imagine like what's Mario doing.
Oh, dude, seriously. When I was, at that age, what was that, 1990 when that game came out?
It was 89 or 90, yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, the weird kid's outside the trailer again.
Yes, seriously.
Just because I know you're old enough to remember it, Scott, like in its original form, but going to like a Walmart and the World of Nintendo sections.
Oh my God. It was just
that wall, like everything the branded cabinets with like the 1 or 2 TVs and those old M82 units.
Yeah, they hold like 10 different cartridges.
And you can sit there and you had to push the button to get it to load that one.
Yep.
And you had to sit there and play on that stiff-armed, like oddly angled controller.
Yeah, the controller would
permanently mounted.
It was permanently at a down angle, so if you were short, you had to kind of play like with the controller up by your face.
Yeah. But it was that CRT that was like way up, so like we're all straining our necks looking at this thing.
Yeah.
But
dude, have you not seen 8-Bit Christmas?
Oh, I've seen it.
Because they have they show that World of Nintendo in the story. Remember when he goes to the mall and then the NES starts talking to him? Hey, buddy, I got games. You want to play one? I got Joust. It was
Joust. But just I remember seeing those black Nintendo cabinets with like the red and the gold.
Yeah.
And then just like it was great because I think like each one had like 24 slots.
Mm-hmm.
And like we would go to like FAO Schwartz in Chicago around Christmas, and they had that huge wall of all of them, and you could see all the different boxed games, and it was just you just stared, and it was just it was like one of the most glorious sights for a kid when we were growing up.
Or then going to Toys R Us, and they didn't actually have the games out. They had like a little plastic like laminated
sleeve.
thing. and you could like flip it to the back to see what the gameplay looked like. And then if you wanted to buy the game, you had to pull a ticket
paper
out of the
card
back
out.
of it and take it to the front desk, and they had them all behind a steel cage. Oh, and then you just saw like just the stacks and stacks of games and like cream your pants like looking at this. So I could sit and go on and tell you stories and stories. I don't want this to be a 9-hour podcast. But just a couple quick ones that I haven't mentioned. Contra. I can't believe nobody's mentioned Contra. Playing with a friend, 2-player. Learning the Konami code was. I rented Contra.
Stealing
from,
their lives.
Yeah, you could steal their lives. This is how excited I was for Contra. The first time I rented Contra, my dad made this special deal to get me a ride in an airplane, like a local one, like an East Troy or something, like a little tiny, 2-3 man airplane. And we're up in this airplane flying over my house. And all I was thinking while I'm in this plane, this is really cool, but I want to go home and play Contra. Like, it's just that's all I wanted to do. Trading games with friends, like it was a constant thing. Hey, what games do you have? What games do you have? I'll bring this one to you. You bring it to me. Sharing codes on the playground. Lone Ranger, North and South. I played any game I could get my hands on, even the crappy games like Yo Noid and Roadrunner. I just could not get enough of playing any of these games, to the point that I obsess enough that I now own all of the cartridges like you do, CB, on at least US cartridges outside of stadium events. And I just like to sit and look at it and show it off. It's just the NES defined my childhood. I feel like I was introduced to it with the Atari, and then the NES solidified that this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be doing.
I think it's any kid born like 1980 to like 1985.
Mm-hmm.
The NES was such a staple of your childhood.
Right. Plus, it was fun, like, because we didn't have the internet, right? So you didn't like know what games were coming out. Did you ever like go to a friend's house and they showed you a game that you didn't even knew freaking existed?
Oh,
You're like, what is this Star Tropics thing? This is amazing.
Oh no,
You're like,
it was the Sears catalog, man. The Sears and the JCPenney catalog, and like they had the special toy ones, and you flipped right to that section,
mm-hmm.
and you would just start thumbing through those, because that's like I actually still have my one over here with the unreleased California Raisins game in it.
Yeah,
because they were like, it got canceled right there at the end, and I'm like, man.
We had a comment from Music1701A. It says, we used to bring carts to school in manila envelopes and trade them to play for the week. We did that with Atari, NES, and SNES games. Yeah, I used to do that with original Atari games. You know those games that we somehow played for hours and hours and hours, but if you play them now, it's like 5 minutes and I'm good.
Because we didn't know any better.
Well, yeah, that's why like games like Adventure, again, what made me like the NES games is like Adventure felt like a game that wasn't just a score. It was like I was actually doing something. I was progressing. And then the Nintendo just opened that wide open for me. So crazy. All right, I could just keep going forever, but we got to go on. I mean, there's so many games I haven't even like mentioned. There's like what 800 on there.
696 official releases with 130 more unofficials.
Freaking DuckTales. DuckTales was so much fun
Rescue
to plow
Rangers.
through.
Rescue Rangers was so much better than DuckTales.
It was, but Rescue Rangers was good because you had the 2-player component, but DuckTales was perfection, man. The Mega Man series. Punch-Out. Who hasn't played Punch-Out? That game was just masterfully created because the first couple bosses were a cakewalk, and then it just got ridiculously difficult. When we first got a video camera, my brother used to videotape me playing RC Pro-Am and would narrate the races and stuff. RC Pro-Am was just like, because it was a racing game we'd never played before. It was like this isometric view and you couldn't see the road ahead.
I love that game so much.
Blaster Master. You were in a tank and then you could get out and walk around in the tank, and then you could go into a level and it was like this over the top 3D thing where you're fighting giant frogs, and So cool. Okay, I'll stop. Kid Icarus.
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Screw that.
It
game.
was Triangle.
Tiger Heli.
Tiger Heli was great. Co-op helicopter action. Well, which one did you say, Jake?
Cobra's Triangle.
Cobra's Triangle was so hard. That was one where you had a little boat and you had to rescue the people and then bring them back. And there was an enemy boat that would chase you and he was faster than you. Micro Machines. You remember Micro Machines?
Micro Machines.
From Galoob. Okay. I need to read a comment. That one was already read. Noe Brown says, what an absolute classic system. So many memories with this one. And then I think we just got a couple more. Ferris 74 memories. So many. When I think back on the console, I remember the most. My two favorite standout titles, Golgo 13 and The Guardian Legend. I've never played either of those. Would you believe that?
Golgo Legends. Pretty solid.
You do own them though, right?
I do. Golgo 13 is a guy with a gun, like a sniper rifle on the cover of it, right? Yep. I can see the box.
Mission.
Yeah. Guardian Legend, I can see the cover of that one too, but I've never played it. Music has started to become almost integral to making an NES game, and those two had very memorable soundtracks. I remember Golgo 13 having some of the first FPS mechanics I saw, and the Guardian Legend popping in and out of a shmup and free roam was groundbreaking. Good call. Good stuff. Last one, Paul Hines says, playing Tecmo Bowl in the basement with my cousins. Nobody was allowed to take Denver because it was cheating. Yeah, good call. Tecmo Bowl, man. Oh, so good. I actually played more than Tecmo Bowl. I played NES Play Action Football, which didn't have real teams in it, I believe, and it was a weird football game because it did it at a diagonal.
Yep.
Like instead of going up and down, you were going from bottom of the bottom left-hand corner to the upper right-hand corner. And I'll never forget because whenever you got a first down, the referee would make a first down motion, but he would say first down. But since it was the weird chip things, it always sounded like he said "bazoom, bazoom." My brother and I still to this day, whenever we watch
double
football
dribble,
together.
top of the key threes.
Oh my god! And then the slow motion, black and white slam dunks. Oh, that was the coolest thing when we were kids. Okay, I promise I'm done. I have no idea what next week's topic is. Next week I'm just all giddy and I want to talk about Nintendo all night long. But that's gonna do it for this week's The Gaming Outsider. Thanks so much for listening. The episode was produced by Kevin Howningford, and all the music you hear is written and performed by Grant Henry of Stemage and Metroid Metal. His website, as always, is stemagemusic.com. Please be sure to email us if you have any questions or concerns. Our address is feedback@thegamingoutsider.com. Zach, do you have any parting words or recommendations for our listeners?
Yes, this is a movie that you recommended some time ago, but I finally watched Heretic, and I'm also recommending it because that movie was great.
Phenomenal movie. I need to rewatch that movie.
Excellent little thriller out of A24. You know, a lot of theological discussions, which are a lot of fun. Really great movie. Tense. Hugh Grant given a performance that looks like he's waited his whole career to give.
Yeah.
I don't going as I guess you should go into every movie as blind as possible. But Heretic, I didn't see where it was going. It was pretty exciting. Big fan.
And not for nothing, but the girls did a good job too, playing the, meek. Well, I don't want to give away what's going on in the story, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're both really good as well. Totally. But I mean, I'm not trying to tear them down. It's just Hugh Grant was killing it, man.
It might be my favorite Hugh Grant role.
Yeah, it's tremendous. Just trapping these two missionary girls in his house as he rants about religion for about
so good
hour and a half or whatever. It's good stuff. Really
did not feel like a full-length movie. A movie like kind of flew by just because there was something happening all the time. Great conversation.
And I imagine for somebody who was formerly indoctrinated into the religious world like yourself, Scott, it must really feel like a good watch.
Oh yeah, especially because like they're having conversations about religion, like open conversations, and it's good. Both sides are bringing up good points. You know what I mean?
What I think I was most impressed about was that it didn't come across as anti-religion.
Right. It wasn't like bashing it. It was just like, let's have an open discussion about it.
Yeah. I thought that's a fine line to walk, and they do it very well.
Awesome, man. I'm glad you liked it. See, I make good recommendations once in a while.
For sure.
But in this case, apparently I didn't. CB, what do you got?
Couple things. Tron Ares, wildly mediocre.
The story's not great.
Average, you could say.
Aggressively average.
It's been a while. We can bring it back. Yes, aggressively average. Jared Leto has the acting chops of a pancake. It's just, man, I like. Here's the thing: if it's a Tron movie, I want it to be in the grid, like the majority of the movie in the grid. This just to me felt so flat.
I don't think the movie looks great, but it was pretty upfront about there not being the grid in this one, though.
I know, but that's the problem. Is like that's what I want.
Right. Well, then why would you watch the movie? Is my question.
So mostly because I wanted a couple sections that happened in the movie, which those sections of the movie loved. Nicey and Jeff Bridges back. So, the very little the stinger at the end was a fun surprise.
Yes, it was.
So, but it hurts because I know that we're never going to get a follow up to it.
Oh no, yeah, definitely not. What happened to Jared Leto? Right, he used to be a good actor, and then was it just
he was a better musician?
He has that island cult, and he just doesn't care anymore about acting, or what?
Yeah, I don't even know about that. He's got an island cult.
Oh yeah, it is pretty creepy. You should look into it. Yeah.
So moving on from that, I watched Welcome to Derry.
Which platform is that on?
HBO Max.
I want to watch that.
Fantastic start.
Really?
Fantastic. I'm like wildly excited to see where this goes. But very, very strong opening. Highly recommend. But the big watch for me this week was I saw the movie Good Boy.
I've heard about this one.
It's great.
Horror movie told from the perspective of an actual dog.
Yes. It's surprisingly short. It's only 75 minutes.
Oh, nice. We don't get those anymore.
It is. It's just this short little movie. I can understand like what they're trying to achieve with it, but damn, is it heartbreaking at points. And that the dog is so cute.
Now, is it like a camera mounted on the dog's head, or how is this done?
There's a few points where like it either flips from looking directly at the dog's reaction to things going on around it, or the dog looking at something.
Okay, so it's either from his perspective or you seeing the dog's reaction.
Yes, and like,
isn't the dog's name Indiana or Indy?
Indy,
yeah, Indiana.
So,
Indiana.
The dog's name was Indiana.
But it's just a unique take of a movie being told from that perspective, because like the dog sees things happening, looks at owner, things are happening, dog doesn't fully understand. So
gotcha. Is that streaming anywhere?
Not legally, but
I'll say you like it so much that you didn't support it.
Not in theaters,
Okay.
like where we were. Like, so I'm not gonna drive like an hour and a half to a theater where it was.
Interesting.
So, well, yeah, the Showplay 16 here is closed.
No, it's back now.
What?
They had an outage.
They got struck by lightning.
Got struck by lightning. They had to redo it. I thought I was getting excited thinking they were going to remodel it.
Plus,
everybody complains about how gross it is, but
I've had two friends that have recently contracted things from that place. So,
convenient excuse for them.
Showplace 16 commonly gets bed bugs and scabies in there, man. Like, I try to stay like, that's why I preferred to go to movie theaters that have like leather or pleather seats anymore, because they can actually be cleaned instead of these dirty cloth 2000 seats that AMC loves to use.
Next time you actually decide to go pay for a movie, I recommend going to Beloit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Probably going to be my choice.
Yeah. All right. I'm excited to check out Welcome to Derry. I actually rewatched it, and it part 2, the most recent iteration of it, and it's really good. So, well, thanks everybody out there for listening to this lengthy episode. I could not help but gush about the NES. I could have gone on for another half hour, 45 minutes easily. Thanks for putting up with that. Until next week, I'm Scott Clark with Zach Parkinson, Jacob Gunderson, and Chris Behrensmeyer, and we are the Gaming Outsider. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad game, just games that aren't for you.